This city has been dubbed the Oriental Paris, but it's not Shanghai. Harbin sits on the edge of China's far northern frontier. But this city, famous for its unforgiving climate, is also well known for something far more civilized, in the form of its many houses of worship from all denominations. China View takes you on a special tour.
This is the St. Sophia Church, one of the most magnificent structures in Harbin. We could see the main building is topped with the round, huge green dome, as if it should be standing in Moscow.
Ma Di is proud of her city. A journalist and Harbin local, Ma knows firsthand the beautiful architecture her city has to offer, and the religious tolerance which underpins its history. Here, places of worship for almost all major denominations, including Christianity, Islam, Buddhism and Judaism, can be found. So, as a special treat for China View viewers, she's offered to take us on a tour of Harbin's famous religious buildings. Occupying an area of 721 square metres, the almost 54-metre high red brick walls of St. Sophia Church hide a secret.
According to historians, this church is a typical example of New Byzantine architecture and is also the biggest Eastern Orthodox church in the Far East.
The church was originally built using timber. In 1907, after suffering defeat in the Russo-Japanese War, a demoralised Russian army division came to Harbin. While it's now a museum, back then the church was built as a spiritual symbol to boost the confidence of the shattered army. After 9 long years, it was finally completed in 1932.
Above the main entrance, there stands the main choir stage, accompanied by 2 smaller stages on both sides. In the past, the choir would sing on the stage when there were big religious festivals. The church could host as many as 2,000 people.
The story of Harbin's birth as a religious melting pot began with this: the Chinese Eastern Railway. Built in the early 20th century, also by the Russians, it effectively prized open the northern reaches of China's mysterious Qing dynasty. Built on Chinese territory, it's always been seen as a symbol of colonization. But despite its origins, with it came a large number of European nobility, merchants, soldiers and workers, all followers of different religions, who planted the seeds for the diverse Harbin of today.
During the 1920s and 1930s, foreign expatriates from over 30 countries lived in Harbin. Thanks to these expatriates, there sprang up various religious buildings in Harbin, including Orthodox Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Taoism, and even Shinto.
A researcher with the Academy of Social Sciences, Li Xiao, says from the end of the 19th century to the middle of the 20th century, the number of churches, synagogues, monasteries and temples here jumped, eventually peaking at 128. But despite the presence of so many religions, there's no record of religious conflict in the city. In fact, Harbin was a virtual haven of religious tolerance, with various places of worship standing within a stone's throw of each other.
This is one of the core areas in Harbin. 3 churches of different religions could be seen here. They are quite near each other, only about 100 meters away. Now they are still open to the public, fulfilling their religious missions.
Ma is convinced Li to lend his expertise to our tour.
The church behind us is the Madonna Guardian Church, an Eastern Orthodox church. The one across the road is Polish St. Stanislav Church, a Catholic church. The other one in front of us is German Lutheran Church, a Protestant church. The cluster of these churches reflects the diversity of the city's history and culture.
Nearby is the Jewish New Synagogue, the largest and best preserved one of its kind in the Far East. One of its neighbours is further testament to Harbin's tolerance.
Not far from the Jewish synagogue, there is the Tatar Mosque. From here, we can see that Judaism and Islam coexisted. This is just an epitome. Many religions like the Orthodox, Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism and Taoism coexisted in Harbin.
World War II saw a large number of European expats leave Harbin. After the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949, most religious buildings became vacant. These once sacred buildings were turned into warehouses, factories and other recreation venues. But following China's opening up in the 1980s and increased contact with other cultures, they were recognized as historical treasures.
Most buildings are now under state or provincial protection now. Many of them, like the Jewish synagogue and the Islamic mosques, were renovated. All this has shown our recognition of these buildings, respect of religious freedom, as well as the city's history and culture.
While only some have resumed as places of worship, Harbin's assembly of religious buildings are held up high by locals as a symbol of tolerance and its rich history.